On this first question, we are given the function f of x is equal to 1. Now, you'll notice there is not an x on the right-hand side. So when that happens, that's actually called a constant function, because what it means is no matter what x you plug in, you're going to always get the answer of 1. So when they ask me what is the f of 6, your f of 6 is always 1. When they say what's the f of negative 9, it's 1. The f of 2.7, it's 1. The f of negative 2.9, it is 1. So with a constant function, because there is no x to actually plug in on the right-hand side, your answer would always be 1 in that case. Now the next question is your difference quotient. Remember that I like to divide it up into 3 steps. So step 1 is just this first part right here where you're going to find the f of x plus h. Now, I strongly suggest whatever your function is, that you write it down like this first. So in other words, put parentheses where the x is. So I would have negative 2, and then I'm going to put parentheses in place of the x plus 6. Now, the reason that I do that is because it just makes it easier to go back and plug in this expression. So they're telling me to plug in x plus h. So notice into this parentheses, I've put x plus h. And then it's just a matter of simplifying. If I multiply by negative 2, I have a negative 2x minus a 2h plus a 6. For step 2, you'll notice in the formula here, it says we're going to subtract f of x. Well, that's the same as saying subtract the original function. So all I did is I took my answer from the first step, just recopied it here. I've got my minus sign just like it shows up here in the formula. And then I'm putting my original function in parentheses. So my original function over here is negative 2x plus 6. Now, when you distribute this minus, that turns that to a positive 2x and a minus 6. And what should happen at this step, if you're on the right track, is these terms from the original function should zero out. So notice the positive 2x canceled with negative 2x, negative 6 canceled with positive 6. So at that point, we are only left with this single term. And so step 3, if you look up here at the formula, says divide by h. So I took my answer from step 2, divided it by h. The h is canceled, and there is my final answer. On the next question, we're being asked to write a linear cost function. Identify all the variables used. So this is a parking garage. It charges $9 plus 25 cents per half hour. So the minute I drive in, I'm going to pay $9 no matter how long I stay. That's a constant. The variable cost is, they're telling me I'm going to pay 25 cents for every half hour. Now, first of all, your units have to agree. So when we write our function, if we're going to put it in terms of dollars, remember for 25 cents, you're going to have to write it as 0.25. So let's talk about the function first. We'll kind of do it backwards and then tell what the variables mean. So the minute we drove in, we paid $9. And then if x is the number of half hours that we stay, we're paying 25 cents for each one. So that would be my cost function. And so C of x represents my cost for using the garage, and that's where it's x number of half hours. All right, on the next question, you're graphing a parabola. So in order to find the